people hear the harpsichord and they'll say, I don't know, it seems funny. I'm Karen Height-Jacob, and I founded Carolina Pro Musica many years ago, like 40-some. My father saw, I think it was in the Smithsonian magazine, that somebody had a kit for making a harpsichord. He bought one of these kits. It showed up in a box, and he decided he was going to build this harpsichord. And I remember he called me up on the phone and he said, I think I've got the harpsichord done, but I haven't the foggiest idea what you do about tuning it. When I came home, I went in, I'd play a note on the harpsichord, and then I'd go in the other room and try to see if I could find, which key it was. And I got to where it could play at least. And that was the start. I'm going to push the key down, and like a seesaw, it's going to push the quill up, and it's going to pluck the string, but then that's the end of it. It plucks, and it just rings, and then it's not ringing anymore. So if I let go of the key fast, that little red thing, which is a felt damper, will just damp the string and stop it from ringing. The idea was that we would have a group of musicians who would play with period instruments and singers, and we would do music from the time pretty much that the music was written. I had some friends in Charlotte, and they were kind of interested in music from that period too, like playing Bach and playing Telemann and other Baroque pieces of music. There wasn't that much of that music being played in America, and not around Charlotte. And so we kind of got together and thought, well, if we're going to play these pieces, we might as well learn them well enough that we can do some concerts. It just didn't happen overnight. We had to actually be considered nonprofit and have a tax number, and then we could do stuff locally and do that too. So that's what we did. And then other hurdles were starting to develop an audience, and so we've kept a list. So we've learned to kind of go with the flow. And when this money from the Arts Council became available, we thought, well, nobody's doing that around here that people can see, so why shouldn't we share what we do, with other people, because maybe they'll like it too. Probably the first year we ever had a Grassroots grant, we went to Cherryville. And this family came and brought their 3 children and came to the library there that we did a concert. And it was funny because we did a concert and a workshop at the main library here in Gastonia, and the children are now quite grown up. They're not, little kids. They're like high school kids. And but the parents came and they brought their kids, and one of them was like playing the piano, and so he was like showing us that he played the piano. It was just nice to know that he, was able to do that. And the family obviously must think it's worth doing, or they wouldn't have come, because they came from Cherryville to downtown Gastonia. But they brought the kids and came to the concerts. The Grassroots Fund is for smaller, I would say smaller grants, or you need to match it. They gave you $1,000 and you were going to do a concert with $1,000, and maybe you had to have $2,000. You had to put in $1,000, so it's a matching sort of idea. And it comes from the state, but the point is that, they don't just give it to you. You have to show that you would like it. That's helped over here in Gaston County because we basically don't choose to charge people money. This allows people to come and participate in something that, somewhere else they would have had to pay money to go to. I think there's a way that you can teach people to listen. And then when you play, you have to listen to what you're playing. You just don't play it for the notes. You play it for what's it really coming off like? What's it sound like? So that's kind of what we like with this.